Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to be a part of our community, head on over to missionmatters.com/community to join. All right, so today's a great episode. I have Justin Bradley Reyes on the line. He's a manager, member engagement over at Latino Corporate Directors Association, also known as LCDA. And let me tell you, I heard Justin on an interview with Aaron Alejandro, Executive Director of Texas FFA over at Growing Our Future podcast, and I was so thrilled by his story. I said, man, you know what? I need to get Justin on our show, so I invited him on. Hey, Justin, first off, man, I just want to say welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Adam. Really excited to have the chance to join you on this podcast, and was really thrilled that Aaron Alejandro connected us.
Yeah, so great having you on, and I'm excited to get more into your background, why you do what you do, and really how you're doing it. And just to get us kicked off, we'll start this episode the way that we start them all, with what we like to call our Mission Matters Minute. So, Justin, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission. Justin, what mission matters to you?
Oh, thanks, Adam. So I guess my mission, what drives me, is to uplift, upskill, and prepare communities around topics that impact us, whether that's my profession or my Latino community. I believe that by doing for others, we set an example and we set the tone for a pay it forward mentality. And I think that really helps in scaling the impact of what we're trying to accomplish. And what's really interesting is, this gives me purpose in my 9 to 5 and my 5 to 9. Yeah. But it all really boils down to a motto that I learned 20 years ago that I use as my North Star. And it's learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, and living to serve. And that's what I follow, and that's how we got here today.
It's awesome. Let's go a little bit into those early years. Like, how did you get on this path to your current role? Like, where did it all start for you?
Adam, everything that I've done has been almost accidental. So like I mentioned, 20 years ago, I started high school, and I took a woodshop class, but had a medical condition that prevented me from really enjoying that class to the point where I was removed from woodshop and placed next door into the FFA agricultural classroom, where I met Teddy Bird, my FFA advisor, and that's where it started. It started with an FFA creed. I believe in the future of agriculture, and it, from that point, 4 years and even into college, the FFA organization association, developed premier leadership, personal growth, and career success for me. And, fast forward 6 years after that, I had the opportunity to really start my career in associations with the National Association of State Departments of Agriculture, where I got a chance to go to Asheville, North Carolina at the Biltmore and witnessed, the birthplace of American forestry. But more important than that was being in the room with these senior policy officials on agriculture and seeing a different side of agriculture. Whereas growing up working on the ranch, right, but really being in these boardrooms, in these committee meetings, and talking about these policies that impact the rest of America. And now today I get a chance, I every day is like a holiday. I get a chance to work with a premier organization that's supporting the Latino community in reaching parity where we were not really represented in, and having a chance to just listen, be a fly on the wall, and hear these conversations, and it's all inspiring. And again, all of this would have not been possible without the help of all these associations that I've been a part of over the years.
Now, did you come from an agricultural background? When I know you mentioned going from, wood shop to going to that FFA classroom or that program, like, did you come from an agriculture background?
Oh, definitely. I like to believe it's in my family's blood. I mean,
Yeah.
we are farmers, we're ranchers.
Mhm.
Uh, my dad's a cowboy, a vaquero. So, a lot of my upbringing in
Mm.
rural America revolved around the agrarian community, and
Mhm.
having an opportunity to be a part of this supply chain where, waking up early,
Yeah.
whether it's in summer or in the winter, taking care of livestock and, enjoying the fruits of our labor when we go to the supermarket or when we
Mhm.
drive down the road to Whataburger and enjoy a nice juicy burger. It resonates with me because it instills kind of pride in being a part of, that whole process.
Hmm. Now, one of the things that I know, and as I've gotten to know Texas FFA and be part of, like now I went to year two this year of convention. Year one, I think I went to was in Waco. This year was in Dallas. Next year, I'm already looking forward to Houston. I've never been to Houston, so I'm already getting excited. I was talking to Aaron about that. I'm like, all right, man, what are we doing for the Houston convention I'm in? What talk a little bit more about and you have a heavy agriculture background, as you mentioned, but the vantage point of even what it allows to do, whether it's leadership training, whether it's, I mean, there's so many layers to what that organization and kind of what that, I like to say, upbringing within the organization of wearing that blue jacket means. Maybe talk a little bit about the experience and some of those other things that are involved.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the ecosystem that FFA provides for its members, its students, and
Mm.
really by extent, the families of the students is amazing.
Yeah.
And I think it all has to do with the experiences and how intentional FFA is about providing, leadership development opportunities,
Mm.
career exploration, and at the end of it, giving you a chance to meet other young people who are just as crazy about agriculture and passionate
Yeah.
about education, and through it all, propelling us to become a better person, to challenge
Mm.
ourselves, and to be stewards in
Mm.
all spaces that we're a part of, whether it's in
Mhm.
agriculture or elsewhere,
Mhm.
taking pride and ultimately being proud of what
Mhm.
it is we're doing, because
Yeah.
we all matter. And like I said above here, all this change starts with you.
Mm. So, as you kind of you're going through your career, and at some point you find the LCDA. Like how did that come about? How did that come on your radar?
Yeah, definitely. It was accidental.
Yeah.
So, 2016, I started working with the National Association of Home Builders. Was
Mm.
there for about 6 years and was really phenomenal to be a part of a huge national organization of 140,000 members,
Yeah.
and seeing what they did with advocacy, with
Mhm.
education, with the components of the different chapters around the country who are just as passionate, and it was a phenomenal experience. But
Mhm.
one thing that would bother me was I was often the only Latino in the room,
Mm.
and so fast forward into 2022, I had reached a point where I believed I had learned enough working at a national organization
Yeah.
and a local chapter that I wanted to bring all these experiences to an organization that serves the Latino community.
Mm.
And there were a few of them,
Yeah.
but by chance, I was on LinkedIn and I stumbled across this LCDA, Latino
Yeah.
Corporate Directors Association. Like, what is that? So I did a little research. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is
Wow.
this is what I want. This is what I need. It'll help me fill the gap in terms of like that more corporate feeling that I
Mhm.
just really didn't have in my
Mhm.
portfolio. And so Carmen Jorge gave me an opportunity. She, our one of our leaders at LCDA,
Mhm.
allowed me to join on a call with her just to learn a little bit more, and from there, I
Yeah.
know I needed that job more than they needed me because of what it could provide me. And so I just, I practiced, did my research, and I gave it my all in my interviews. And
Mm.
I was very, very happy to then get the call to be invited to join the LCDA team. And, I've been here since May of last year. And
Yeah.
boy, Adam, it's been an adventure.
Yeah. So I know, so you definitely went down the rabbit hole. You're thinking, all right, I need to upskill. I want maybe corporate feel. I want to make a difference in Latino community. And so now you get the gig, right? Is there anything that surprised you once you got in the seat? Is there anything about the organization or just what they do that surprised you when you got in the seat?
What surprised me was just how welcoming the members are. I
Mm.
guess coming in, it's like corporate leaders,
Yeah.
right? CEO, C-suite. These are very intelligent people,
Mhm.
driven, successful. And I was really surprised of just how welcoming the community is. I mean,
Mm.
the stories of each of our members is amazing. I mean, there's over 500 LCDA
Wow.
members, and I haven't met each of them yet, but the
Yeah.
ones that I have are always inviting. They share, and
Yeah.
the biggest part too is that they support the staff, just like myself.
Mm.
I've done a fraction of what many of these members have
Yeah.
done, but um, little do they know that everything that I hear and learn from them
Yeah.
inspires me to do more and to be more. And
Mm.
I think that part was the most welcome surprise for
Yeah.
me.
So there's a lot of individuals that are watch this interview. They'll watch the social media. They'll read the posts, all the other things. Listen to the podcast. So a lot of people are gonna take in this content. Some of them are let's just say they should be part of or should be thinking about joining the organization or looking further into it. Like what kind of things would you say, or what kind of candidates would you say get the most value out of the organization and working with them?
Yeah, definitely. So, of course, you have to do your due diligence in your
Mhm.
9 to 5, right? You have to be the best to attain success, attain as much responsibility as possible. I think
Mhm.
the term is enterprise-wide
Yeah.
management, big P&Ls, all of that you take care of. But you
Mhm.
also need to put the work in your 5 to 9. What
Mhm.
are you doing outside of your organization? I
Yeah.
think a big part of the success of our network is the pay it forward mentality.
Hmm.
These people are on boards, in nonprofit
Yeah.
organizations, in the community, and oftentimes with the tone of what they're doing for the Latino community,
Mhm.
and a combination of those two things, along
Mhm.
with your your approachability.
Yeah.
Because when you're in these boardrooms, you're all selected for your expertise, for your
Mhm.
knowledge, for where you've been. But if you can't get along with other folks, then
Yeah.
how progressive, how constructive will these meetings be? So the other part is being a team player.
Yeah.
And I think just in the short time that I've been at LCDA, as long
Mhm.
as you're able to, excel as much as possible in each of
Mhm.
those, then the possibilities of being invited to join
Yeah.
LCDA is much more attainable. And to be quite frank, people want to be around you, and
Yeah.
so you're just able to commodify yourself a lot
Yeah.
better.
So we think about, when I think about the overall just mission of LCDA, so to support, the development of Latino corporate directors, and we think about just the increasing number of, Latinos in the country and just representation, purchasing power, it would seem as though over time, representation on boards would be kind of like the common sense thing that's going to happen. So when I see this organization, LCDA, and for those that have those type of aspirations to either, join a board or to, upskill and all these other things, it seems like it's a great match and it's kind of that great bridge, if you will. Am I off on that or?
No, I think you're on point. I mean, today Latinos are almost 20% of the U.S. population,
Mhm.
but unfortunately, only 4% of Fortune 1000 board seats
Hmm.
are held by Latinos, and it's even smaller for Latinas. And
Mm.
so, the economy is being driven by many populations, but just according, like, this is really interesting. So
Yeah.
there's a nonprofit called the Latino Donor Collaborative, and according to the research, the Latino GDP is about $2.8 trillion.
Mm.
So that figure would rank us as the fifth largest economy in the country. And
Yeah.
so, to your point, Latinos are conscious about their impact, the brands they choose. They value environments that support their employees.
Yeah.
So, all of these influences are important. And if they're not being brought to the table in the boardroom,
Mm.
then U.S. companies are really missing out on catering to this fast growing market.
Yeah. How do people get involved? Like, how do they get involved with the LCDA?
How do you get involved?
Hmm.
Well, just like I mentioned earlier, the biggest part is, attaining, success in the work you
Yeah.
do. Um, Either there's two different membership categories. There's director
Mhm.
members and executive members. So
Yeah.
our director members are members who have already served in a corporate board, or
Mm.
maybe they've served in corporate, like a public board, or maybe they've served in a really large private board. And so they have the competencies of what a Fortune 1000, a corporate board would seek in board directors. And
Yeah.
so those individuals have a higher chance of being invited to LCDA, along with, what are they doing currently for the Latino community and what they have done in the past. Now,
Yeah.
that's not a very big bucket. And
Yeah.
so for the much larger part of our community, our executive members, these are board aspiring executives
Mm.
that have the competencies, that have the skills, that have the experiences. They just need to get in a board seat. And
Mm.
so, those members are either the CEO or within two roles removed from the CEO.
Mm.
And so they have, a higher scope of responsibility, not only in terms of the profit and loss sheet, but also
Mm.
the number of employees. And so a combination of these two different categories, along with what they're doing outside of work, can
Yeah.
culminate to the possibility of joining LCDA. But,
Mm.
a no now may not mean no forever.
Yeah.
It's just, where do you need to work on? And so maybe a few years down the road, you can revisit and
Mm.
re-entertain the possibility of joining LCDA.
Yeah. Well, Justin, I just want to say, first off, it has been great having you on the show today and really just learning more about your background, how you got here, the great work that LCDA is really doing for representation and just for upskilling a population that, and providing opportunities, really like acting as that bridge. I think it's amazing, a great, amazing mission. That being said, I mean, if somebody's watching this or listening to this and they want to, learn more about LCDA, or if they want to, follow up and, follow your journey and connect, I mean, what's the best way for people to do that?
Oh, there's so many different ways. So check out our website,
Yep.
latinocorporatedirectors.org. But also, if you have a LinkedIn, and if you don't have a LinkedIn, make sure you create one.
Yeah.
Start following the LCDA
Hmm.
LinkedIn page. Our Marcom team does an amazing job in sharing all the amazing things that are happening, not
Hmm.
only in LCDA, but in our members' careers. I mean, it is a machine. There must be at least 4 or 5 posts a day, but it just shows you uh, uh, the immense possibility and impact that LCDA and its members are having
Mm.
currently in corporate boards. And so, those are the best ways that I would say to follow. And check
Mhm.
out our website. There is a online member directory that's public facing. So if you want to check out who are these faces of corporate boards,
Mm.
Latino corporate directors, that's a great place to check them out. I mean, there's so many amazing people. You have, I don't even have time to name them all, but I mean, there's like inventors of Bluetooth. There's, former cabinet members for presidential cabinet members, and, just really amazing people that
Mhm.
you may have never known had you not stumbled upon the directory. So I think those are the three different places that I would check out to learn more about LCDA and to learn more
Mhm.
about the community that it serves.
Fantastic. And we'll definitely put all that, all the website and all of that good stuff in the show notes so that our audience can, click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time connecting with Mission Matters or listening to an episode, we're all about bringing on business owners, entrepreneurs, executives, and experts and having them share their mission, the reason behind their mission, why they do what they do, and why they get up, every day in the morning and go out into the marketplace and make a difference. If that's the type of content that sounds interesting or fun or exciting to you, we welcome you. Hit that subscribe button. We have many more mission-based individuals coming up on the line, and we don't want you to miss a thing. Justin, really, it has been great having you on the show, man. I'm so excited. Thrilled for your career, of course, and all the great work the LCDA is doing to help with board seats and representation. So thanks so much for coming on and sharing the story.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate being a part of this and looking forward to continuing to follow all the amazing people that you're interviewing.